Hey guys, welcome to Carpool Crochet. Today's Tuesday, March 6th, and it's my first official Carpool Crochet. So let's start immediately. I'm going to start with a size 4 crochet hook, and we're going to make a coaster. You can use a small piece of yarn. It doesn't have to be anything big. Here's my little bag of cotton yarn. And I'm going to pick this cute little blue yarn. Look, isn't that lovely? Sorry, I wish I could say like all my yarn is perfect, but look, that's what it looks like. So, let's put this on the yarn. So we're going to make a coaster. So we're going to start with a slip stitch. And we're going to slip stitch our yarn onto our hook. Now we're going to chain 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now without twisting our yarn, let's loop back and slip stitch to the first chain so that we have a nice circle. You see that, guys? A nice circle. Now chain 1, 6 single crochets in, no, I'm sorry, 12 single crochets into these 6 chains. So that was 1 single crochet, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, what is that? Get that off of there. Little piece of trash. 12. All right, 12. Now, slip stitch back to the beginning. As I mentioned earlier, this is some cotton yarn. You can use whatever yarn you have. I'm just going to recommend the cotton yarn because it's going to absorb the water off your glass better than, say, an acrylic or some other type of yarn. Now we're going to chain 4. Now this chain 4 is going to represent a double crochet and a chain over, because that's what we're going to do. We're going to double crochet and chain over in every one of these single crochets. So now double crochet in the next single crochet and then chain. Double crochet in the next single crochet and chain. So what we're doing is we're making these spaces here for us to crochet in next time on our next row. Oh, it is raining and yucky and cold, and it's March, people. Where is the good weather? Just keep going. Just keep double crocheting and chaining through every one of those single crochets you created the first time. Now look, my yarn is messy. I should have fixed that to start with. But we're going to pull it and hope that it works itself out, because we don't have all day. Hey, you can fast forward through that. Who wants to look at that? All right, and if you're having trouble learning these stitches, if these stitches are new to you, slow down the video. Reverse it until you get it. Double crochet and chain. Double crochet and chain. And look at there. Here comes this messy yarn again. I'm sure there's like some great story in this messy yarn that if I was a great storyteller, I could come up with some parallel between my life and this yarn. But I'm gonna get this yarn straight. I'm not gonna get my life straight, so let's just be honest, okay? Because I'm gonna use this yarn. Oh goodness, that tickled me. All right, now I'm back to the beginning, so I'm gonna slip stitch to the 3rd chain in my hook. The third chain on our starting chain there. Now, oh, that was bad. Ignore that stitch. slip stitch over to your first chain 1 space. Okay, now chain 3, or actually chain 2. That's going to represent the first part of a cluster. Each one of these sections is going to now have a cluster stitch in it. Our cluster stitch for this particular pattern is going to be 4. We're going to be four pieces to the cluster. And since I have this chain here, that's going to count as my first cluster. So I'm only going to add 3 cluster stitches. So this is, the way you do that is you're going to do half of a double crochet. Yarn over, pull a loop up, yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, pull a loop up, yarn over, pull through 2. So I did that 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Now yarn over and pull it off all. Alright, and then I'm going to chain 2, just to be on the safe side, make sure I have enough space. Now we're going to do a cluster stitch in the next one, which is going to be 4 of these half double crochets. So I'm going to do it real fast. 2, 3, 4, and pull through all, then chain 2. Okay, I'm going to do this again. I'm going to yarn over, pull through the loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, pull through the loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, pull through the loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, pull it up, yarn over, pull through 2. And then once I get 4 of them on there, I pull them all off. And then I chain 2. One chain is basically just to close your cluster, and the other chain is to give you a space between your clusters. So let's keep going. So while I'm doing this, let's talk about how crazy the weather has been. I don't know where you might be watching this from, but here in the South, like, it's warm one day, cold and wet the next day. So today is rainy and 57 right now. Rainy and 57. Yucky. Not a great, pretty March day. Oh, man. I don't know about you guys, but I'm totally ready for summer. Totally ready for summer. Chain 2. Another cluster. Just keep working on these clusters. If you've got this down and you don't want to listen to me, whew, fast forward. It's all good. Sometimes my yarn likes to pick up little things out of my floor or out of my lap, or I don't know. Just seems that it attracts, probably the static, just seems to attract lots of little things. Oh, I see what's going on here. Still got that knot. Yep. Parable to life right there. Things just keep coming up. Just when you think you're off and running, things just keep coming up. Now, I'm going to tell y'all something. I taught myself to crochet off of YouTube. That's pretty funny, but so I don't know if I hold my hook the classically way you would hold it. I have not been trained to hold my hook or to form my stitches a particular way. So if you see me doing something different than how you've been taught before, or not the same way as somebody else, well, that's all cool. But how about, let's just say that to each his own, because this is the way I stitch now, so I don't need a lot of emails or phone calls or comments saying I'm not holding something correctly, because, you know, it is what it is at this point. Can't teach an old dog new tricks. Okay, we're back to the beginning. Slip stitch to the top of our first cluster, and looky there, it's getting there. Now we're going to do our third row, which is really our final row. Now here I go trying to work on this. Now I've got a knot. Doesn't this always happen at the weirdest of times? Don't you just love it? Get a knot in your yarn. If you crochet without ever having knots, then You know what? Don't tell me, because then you just, you know, whatever. I don't need to know that, because I get knots all the time. Look at there, and I think I just put one in there as I'm trying to undo knots. Isn't that the way it goes in life, though? You try to fix something, you just make it worse. Okay, so now, instead of slip stitching over, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my pattern, or turn my crochet piece the opposite way. And I'm going to now crochet this way. And what I'm going to do is put a little bit of a twist on this. Actually, let me back up. Chain 1, 2, 3. And now cluster. No, you know what? I'm going to do that one more time. I'm just going, some people chain 3 and some people chain 2 for double crochet. I see it done a lot of ways. Me, I'm just going to chain 2 because my double crochet is not as tall as a chain 3. So I'm going to chain 2. I'm going to cluster 3 times and close off this stitch. Now, in order to make sure that we get enough space all the way around, I'm going to chain 2. But I'm also going to come here and I'm going to put a double crochet in the top of that cluster. Chain 2. All right, let's do a cluster. This one with 4 this time because we're not starting with a chain. Now, close it off with a chain, but chain again. So chain 2, double crochet in the top of the cluster. Chain 2, and then cluster again. 1, I'm just gonna go ahead and warn y'all. I'm sitting in carpool line and I'm giving a little space here because, you know, I'm videotaping, so I don't want to be right at the front door. We're gonna double crochet here in top of the cluster. Chain 2. Oh, but we have this guy that just loves to come out and help us straighten up our carpool line. I don't know about y'all, but I feel like I'm of decent intelligence, and I just don't feel like I need someone to help me straighten up a carpool line. So I'm just going to tell y'all, I've nicknamed this guy the Carpool Nazi. Don't message me and complain about the name. Oh, I just missed that. Do it again. We're in middle school, or I'm at a middle school. How about that? Two of my kids are in middle school. By this point, I've done carpool line for quite a few years. I think ooh, hair fuzzy. Woo! I don't know about y'all, we got a lot of hair in our household. Hair is the main attractor to my yarn. So I don't know about y'all, but I've been doing this carpool thing for a while. And I just get frustrated. I do not need somebody to help me straighten up a carpool line. I feel like when the bell rings, we all have enough sense to figure out how to get our kids out of the school and into our cars and go home. But Carpool Nazi doesn't think that. He's got to come out here and tap on my window and tell me to move up 2 feet. Anyway, I digress. I just warn you of that because if you hear a loud tapping on my window at some point, I don't want you to be scared. It's Carpool Nazi coming to tell me that I've left space. Well, you know, because I can't see that I've left space between me and the car ahead of me, in case somebody else is in a bigger hurry than me. I'm not necessarily always in a hurry to pick up my kids. There's some truth, right? Oh, no, I just know they're not the first ones out the door. They're chatting and hanging out in the halls and whatever, so there's no need for me to slow those people down whose kids are the first ones to hit the door. I think my little camera is moving. Let's straighten him back out a little bit. All right, we're almost back around to the beginning. We're almost there. Bear with me. She's gonna be really cute, okay? Cluster again. And double crochet. And cluster. Might be our last cluster if I'm thinking right. Okay, now a double crochet in the top of that last cluster, chain 2, and now we're going to slip stitch to the top of that first cluster. And sometimes my hook doesn't want to come through. Okay, now I'm gonna chain 1 just to close off my stitch. Sorry, my phone went a little crazy there. This is done at this point. You can be done. However, I like to go back and add a little bit of an edge to it. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to single crochet, 2 single crochets in the chain 2 space. And then I think what I'm going to do is a treble. So a treble, I'll show you what a treble is if you've never done a treble. Wrap your yarn around twice. And then proceed like you would a double crochet. Go through and pick up, and pull off 2, pick up, pull off 2, pick up, pull off 2. And then 2 single crochets in the next space. That's going to give it like a little bit of a hump there. So treble again in the top of the next cluster, which means you wrap your yarn twice, go through the top of the cluster, pick up your yarn, go over again, pull through 2, go over, pull through 2, go over, pull through 2. Then 2 singles. Now, I would do this all the way around. Just kind of looking to see if that's actually looking the way I was expecting it to look. Actually, it's not. So let's just back up a little bit. So look, you got a free stitch today. You got a treble because I don't think I'm going to use it. I'm just going to do a single, then a double, 2 doubles, then a double in the chain 1 space, then a single. So single, no, this would be a double. So do all the way around, just remembering how many spaces you have. That's a double, and then a double. Oops. Then a single, and a single, then a double, and a double. So a single, and a single, and a double, and a double. So your doubles and your singles aren't going to always be in the same places, but it will make this nice little fringe effect. So just do 2 singles and whatever stitch you're in, then 2 doubles. I did want to teach you guys how to sew in your ends. Because that was something I didn't learn right away. I love this song. I hope y'all don't mind my music. I just have the radio going from our local station. I think this song's hilarious. And look at there. I'm back to a knotted up yarn again. I don't know what it is with me. I just keep making a mess of things. And a double. and a single, and a single, and a double, and a double, and a single, and a single. Okay. Okay, I'm back. Just had to get one in the car. It was a false alarm. Jordan is here now, but Kayla is still in class. She is practicing for her Zoozical performance. So she won't be out for another 30 minutes. So we can keep working on this. I'm trying to finish this up, but I did look. I took time to look, and I do not believe I brought a needle to show you guys how to sew in your ends. So I will definitely do that tomorrow, because that is something that's very important to making something look finished and like a final product, and that's something I didn't learn right away. It took me some time to figure that out. Somehow I missed that part. It's probably because I don't ever watch something all the way to the end. I'm so ADD. But anyway. Alright, so we are almost back to the beginning. This edge just gives it just a little bit of something different. Makes it not look so thin on the edge. Okay, I don't like that song, so let's change that one. Maybe I should get me a playlist together to play for you guys while I'm... Okay, we're back, and I'm gonna slip stitch to the beginning. So look at our cute little coaster. Now these I would make, say, 4 and give to someone. You could do 4 of the same color. You could do 4 different colors. Isn't that just adorable? Cute little project, and you could probably do 2, 3, or even 4, depending on how fast you crochet in a carpool line. Well, it's been great being with you today. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll be back again for Carpool Crochet. Goodbye.